Captain Toad is the greatest game ever made, and I'm about to explain why. No, this is not a joke. Yes, this is the first non-shift related video on this channel, and no, I did not ask, shut up. Now you may be asking, Jack, why is Captain Toad your favorite game of all time? Well, that's a very easy question to answer. The answer is bias. It's bias. It's entirely bias. Allow me to elaborate. Ever since I was a little bambino, I have always been fascinated with the character of Toad. From watching him be my favorite character in the Super Mario Bros. Super Show, to always playing as Buckenberry in New Super Mario Bros. Wii. Yes, that is his canon name. No, I'm not joking. Look it up. It's confusing. So, obviously, considering all of this, when they announced that a new game was coming out that starred Toad as the main character, I was absolutely ecstatic. And a puzzle game, no less. A side note, I was absolutely obsessed with puzzle games as a child. Specifically, Portal 2. Not 1, only 2. I never actually beat Portal 1 until like 4 years later. I was not a smart child. And so, due to all of this, obviously I was incredibly hyped when it came out and I first got it. And, well, because of the game, it sort of catapulted my obsession with Toad forward tenfold, leading to some admittedly questionable content creation choices from young me.
It's Toad Fan 101.
Absolutely deplorable. Well, now that we've covered my incredible amounts of bias, let's talk about the actual game now. You know, the thing this entire video is supposed to be about. We'll start with the gameplay. The main thing about the gameplay in Captain Toad is that, well, you can't jump. Much like the levels in Mario 3D World, it seems like Captain Toad would rather risk his life and lose the ability to jump entirely than fumble the bag and lose whatever treasure he's got left in there. I mean, I guess you gotta respect the grind, right? The game has a really clever puzzle box style level design where you have to rotate the camera to see the level from all angles in order to proceed. This camera control does make multiplayer chaotic mess, which we'll get back to, but it is a really fun mechanic. All the levels in Captain Toad are really short, which does make it really easy to pick up and play, especially if you're not going for all the treasures, but like, come on. Why would you not go for all the treasures? You're a treasure hunter, not some stupid platforming hero with a brown mustache and blue suspenders. Now, you won't find very many power-ups, but it is very neat whenever you find the occasional pickaxe or double cherry. Speaking of, a really cool part about this game is the returning mechanic from all the way back in Super Mario Bros. 2. That is, the ability to pluck radishes from the ground as well as other objects. Scattered around the maps are these little sprouts, which you can get radishes or pickaxes or coins or mushrooms or plenty of other things from. And while they may not be the most opportune of weaponry, they are your main defense against enemies whenever they appear. Random note, radishes suck. They taste like garbage, and I don't like them. Continuing, I would like to note that the game's difficulty does ramp up considerably, especially near the end, and especially if you're going for all the hidden objectives and diamonds. Completing the entire final level without getting hit is probably the hardest thing I've ever managed to do in a video game. No, I haven't done that many difficult things in video games. The point still stands. Shut up. Anyways, next I would like to discuss the game's story. No, this will not take very long. Our story opens with our mushroom-capped captain and his adventuring partner Toadette finding a power star in some ruins. Yes, I would like to note that the two of them are just partners. There's no romantic relationship there whatsoever. That's been confirmed. But before they can grab the star, it gets snatched up by a giant bird named Wingo. Wingo also seemingly inadvertently kidnaps Toadette because she refuses to let go of the Power Star. Goodness gracious, I thought Captain Toad had an issue. These people really don't know when to let go of their treasure, do they? In any case, the captain has to go off and save her. Classic Mario stuff, you get the idea. There isn't much of a twist here. But... That's right, this game has multiple chapters. In Chapter 2, it's the captain that gets kidnapped and you have to play as Toadette. Yes, it is somewhat more of the same, but like, come on. If someone hands you a second pie after you eat the first one, you're not going to say, hey, I don't want this pie, it's the same flavor. You're going to thank them because they gave you a pie. Pie is good. Unlike radishes. Even after you finish the second chapter, there's another third chapter with even more levels, as well as a secret bonus chapter with like 50 more levels after you finish that, including one final level where you have to have all of the collectibles to unlock it, and it's really hard. Anyways, before we wrap this up, there is one more topic I would like to discuss, that being the multiplayer. When Captain Toad was ported to the Switch, they added a special multiplayer mode where the second player could throw radishes using a reticle. This was boring. But luckily, in a later update along with the DLC, they added the ability for the second player to play as an actual character, that being this weird purple Captain Toad with zero plot relevance whatsoever. This added an element of chaos because that means that now both players have to fight over control of the camera. You may think that this ruins the fun. This is not true. Anyone who has played New Super Mario Bros. Wii with more than 3 people should know that the best multiplayer games are the ones where you can sabotage your friends and force them to accidentally walk off a cliff. I still haven't forgiven you for that one round of Fall Guys, Sage. I haven't forgotten, and I never will. In any case, the multiplayer of this game is stupid fun. Like, I used to play it with my brother all the time. We played it for hours. It was very stupid and also very silly. I'm not sorry for what I did to you, Thomas. So, yeah, this game is incredibly fun. Don't believe me? Well, here's my brother to offer his opinions on this incredible masterpiece of a game.
My favorite part of the Captain Toad series is probably the narrative that it spins. I was absolutely floored when they revealed that the blue researcher Toad had familial ties to the Japanese underground mafia, the Yakuza. On top of that, I mean, as an avid speedrunner who has held multiple world records, including Garten Banban Chapter 2, I love its promise and its evolving player base as a speed game in recent years. Most people would think that it's a very slow-paced game and that it wouldn't have any real place in a speedrunning community, but not a lot of people know that if you 100% the game and then you input the Konami code into the main menu, you unlock a secret character, Captain Toad, who is a actual real-life Toad with a sailor captain's hat on, and he unlocks the ability to jump. He's a frog. Toad. Sorry. And like going back through the entire campaign with the ability to jump, it like really shifts your perspective on the game as a whole, and it makes it a lot faster and very competitive to optimize. I think that we haven't even broken half of the progress that we can in terms of optimized routing.
So, yeah, that basically sums it up. That's why Captain Toad is the greatest game of all existence. I mean, what's there not to like? It's got Toad in it, it's replayable, it's got Toad in it, it's got a bunch of levels, it's got Toad in it. I mean, you can even play it on that weird cardboard VR thing if you want to. I'm not sure why, but, like, I mean, why not? I guess. I mean, like, hey, maybe if we're lucky, maybe we'll get a sequel. I don't know. Maybe. Please, Nintendo, I've been waiting so long. I've been waiting for 9 years. I know there's a Nintendo Direct today. I know there is. Please give me Captain Toad 2, please.